And here we are again. Hello, all of my 8 listeners out there. I'm happy that you're here. This is Mike Lodge. I am the business advisor. It's a beautiful day. I'm looking out my window in my office at the moment. And it looks out over kind of like a park-like setting with trees and grass and flowers and everything. It's a beautiful sight. And I especially love the moss that grows on the ground. And I try to nurture that moss because I just love the feeling of that soft green on the ground. But we're also at that time where leaves are beginning to fall. And they're falling on my deck. So every day now I have to go out and sweep down the porches. I have 2 porches on both sides of my deck. Both sides of my house. The other issue is that acorns are beginning to come down out of the trees. And when they come down out of the trees, when they hit the porch, pow, it sounds like a gunshot. And I have these things dropping all day long. It scares my dogs half to death. Sometimes it scares me also. But that's nature. And so nature is beginning to turn into the fall. In the next few weeks, we're going to be turning into the official fall. But in a lot of places across the United States, leaves are beginning to fall. And it's really kind of a nice thing, because if I look out, I can see some changing of color in the leaves. And in my back, it literally turns into fall. It's a beautiful orange. It really is beautiful. If you've never been to South Carolina, during the months of September and October, the leaves turn bright red. And you can drive through the neighborhoods. You can drive up into the mountains, into the higher portions of our state. And I'm in upcountry. And upcountry is the higher portion of South Carolina. So we have a lot of trees and a lot of forest up here. So the leaves turn beautifully orange. And if you go to the lakes, because we have bountiful lakes here, it's a beautiful sight. If you've never been to South Carolina, go to Charleston or go to Greenville and you will see what America is all about. This is America. Now, one of the things I want to talk about in America, I was looking at my Twitter account over the weekend. And what I am seeing, and which hurts me greatly as an American, is that the political hate that we're seeing out there is doing greater damage. We have individuals out there calling Republicans names. We have people in the Republican side calling the Democrats names. We have all of this name calling. Name calling derives from hate. It really does. When you see a president out there calling a good portion of America who are Republicans, and he calls them, what did he call them? What was the word? Wasn't deplorable. That was Clinton. But what he called us were fascists. So when you're calling members of the Republican Party throughout this great country of ours, I think there was over 70 million people who voted for Trump. Those 70 million people were called fascists. They have been called Nazis. They have been called deplorables. They have been called every hate name that's out there. The question is, does name calling the other party make any positive statement about America? No. Does it do anything to build up America that we believe in America? No. It kind of means that when people start calling you names, you pull back and you say, I don't want to be involved in that. I don't want to be involved in that. I am a lover of America. I love the people around me. I even love the Democrats, and I love the liberals, and I love all these people, and I love the Republicans. But I don't want to associate myself with hate. And if we start participating in this hate, we just become lower class individuals. Hate never built anything. Hate never made the country better. Hate never made your family better. Hate never does anything except create more chaos and problems and divide. And every single day, we look and we read the name calling and blaming and everything else that Americans are beginning to say, we don't really have any representation. We don't have any government that is sound. I was looking at some of the comments made by people in Hollywood and people, especially from the president over the weekend, that they were very, very hate-filled comments. They are trying to make everybody look bad. They are trying to make you look bad. They're trying to make me look bad. They're trying to divide a nation. Now, if you divide a nation, we don't go anywhere. We sit here and we keep shooting names across the borders of our beliefs, but we never build anything. We never take our communities and make them better. We never take our families and make them better. We never take our businesses and make them better, because if we become politically woke, we become filled with hate. And that's what has happened in this great nation of ours. And we've got to get away from this. Now, I don't know where you stand on your voting process at the moment, but I suspect that you're probably just like me. I have already made my decision. For one, I'm going to stay away from hate. So anybody who is hateful out there, I'm not voting for them. Anyone who is trying to attack somebody else, I'm not going to vote for them. I've already made up my mind who I will vote for. November's only a few months away, but I've already made up my mind on who I will vote for. And one of the things that I have eliminated are those individuals who are going out and calling other people names. Americans. If you're calling a fellow American a name, you're just running the country into a disastrous direction. Now, if you want to tell me how much you believe in America, how much you believe in cutting government, because that's how I believe. I'm telling you how I believe now. And if you're willing to cut government, if you're willing to sit back and say, okay, Americans need a break, if you're willing to say, okay, our national security is vitally important, our borders are safe, our communities are safe, if you're willing to say, okay, we have overtaxed, now we need to withdraw some of this taxing of America because it's just too much. But the most important part to me at this moment, my decision making, is those individuals who are attacking the other Americans are not in my consideration at all. I'm not going to vote for hate. Now, if you want to debate policy, let's debate it. Excuse me. Just before I came onto this podcast, I ate some sunflower seeds, and I'm afraid that some of them did not go down the right pipe. And it's kind of itching my throat, chest. But I'm not going to debate hate, because hate is just nonsense. If you want to debate the facts, we can do that. If you want to debate policy, we can do that. If you want to debate the ethical part of a candidate, we can do that. But I'm not going to sit there and let you call me names. I'm not going to do that. And what I've started to do on my Twitter account, those people who are out there promoting hate, I've literally blocked them from my account because I don't want to hear hate. They're not offering me any new information. In fact, all of these politicians are not offering you any new information. What they are doing is that they're rehashing and rehashing and rehashing and spinning and spinning and spinning. You and I are going through a recession at the moment. we're going to have to make some major decisions on what we're going to do once we get to these fall and winter months. Our utility bills are going to go up, and they're going to skyrocket because we're short of natural gas. We are going to have a problem with food supplies because our infrastructure is not set up to support us any longer. It's been destroyed by politics. Our farmers are not producing the crops that they should be producing because politics has said, okay, we're going to pay you off for not growing any more product. You see, the problem with all of the issues that are coming our way are political issues that have affected the economy. And you and I, we're going to have to live through these tough times. If you listen to the bankers out there, they're saying tougher times are coming. If you listen to the Federal Reserve, even the Federal Reserve is saying tougher times are coming. So we know that it's coming upon us, so we have to get prepared. That means we have to start preparing our own families, our own households. If there's going to be a food supply, start stocking up now. Stock up on canned goods, frozen goods, whatever you can do, stock up. On the fuel situation for heating our homes, especially here on the East Coast, in the Midwest, where natural gas heats our homes, we are going to have to be very careful. We are going to look at other opportunities out there that can help us in that situation. Government is not going to help us. So you and I have got to get past all of this political hate because it's doing too much damage. We got to get past all of these politicians and all of this nonsense. I don't care if you're a Democrat or a Republican, we're all going to have to go through this recessionary time with a plan in place. Government, I told you this so many times, government will never take care of you. They will make the problem even worse. But because we have no leadership in Washington, D.C. at the moment, we have to depend on us, and we have to be our own leaders of our own families, of our own communities. And we have to be more caring about those people around us because they may not have food at some point, or they may be extremely cold at some point. And we as Americans are going to have to reach out our hands and our arms, and we're going to have to hold them and embrace them and say, okay, listen, I'm here for you. I will help. But we have to prepare ourselves first. So I encourage each and every single one of you, stay away from the hate. This political hate is horrible. And we've got to be above the frame as Americans. We have got to be above the politicians because they have no moral compass. They have no ethical compass. So you and I have got to have that compass for our own lives, our own families, our own communities. So let's get to work. Let's start planning what we're going to do. If you need some help, just let me know. If you want to have more access to me, go to my website, which is www.lodgelodge-co.com. Again, that's www.lodgelodge-co.com. So if you have Twitter accounts, if you have Facebook accounts, and you see all this hate, block them. Temporarily block them until after the election. Do what you need to do, but remove the hate speech that is being manufactured every single day. Not to help us, but to divide us. Everyone have a great day. Talk with you soon. Bye-bye.